A South Australian Council has a solution to the housing crisis. They're going to hike rates on privately owned vacant lots of land in a bid to force landowners to either develop homes on those lots or give them off to others who will. Vacant lots already attract a rate of 20% higher than developed lots of land. This is in the council area of Onkaparinga in Adelaide.
Well done, James. Say it with confidence.
One of their councillors said, and I quote, "This just doesn't bring on more homes in the market. It activates neighbourhoods, stimulates construction and ultimately contributes to the local economy and activity. This is about a bit of fairness. It's about asking whether those who are sitting on undeveloped land are contributing equally to the infrastructure and services to benefit the land." I get the point, but in terms of fairness, is it really fair that the council hike up your rates to achieve their goals? If it's your vacant block of land and you want to let it sit vacant, well, you own it. So what's fair is whatever you decide. As for the council pulling levers, and they argue the only lever they have is rates to achieve the outcomes they are after rather than to serve ratepayers, I'm not so sure that's a good thing. And maybe councils should get their own houses in order before they start asking everybody else to sacrifice. Councils continually run up deficits while they have sister city agreements. They fly all over the world. They give money to stupid social causes that have nothing to do with benefiting ratepayers. I get that this might help produce some more homes, but I just think it's bad policy when you're violating people's property ownership rights.
Yeah, property rights have just gone out the window. I mean, they're in a bad state in this country, if you ask me, to begin with. But no matter how high you hike the rates, dear council, it's still going to be a hell of a lot cheaper than developing the land. Do you have any idea how much that costs? Why don't you just start demanding what nature of development you want to see on the land at this point? Oh, we want more houses. You have to build housing. What if they want to build something else? The owners should get to say what and when they do with their own land, and making it less affordable for it to sit there is just shameless revenue raising, if you ask me. Sure, they're creating an incentive for the land to be developed, but is it right? No, I really don't think it is.
Councils tell people what they can do on their land all the time. They zone lands for different purposes. You're not allowed
Zoning is a different issue.
Isn't
The
it?
former councillor, I can tell you that. It's
but you're saying
issue.
you're saying, oh, I own this bit of land. I should be able to build a house here if I want to. So, well, no, you can't because you're in an industrial zone. So,
but if I bought a bit of land
or this is my bit of land, I want to build a 10-storey house. Well, no, you can't.
And then they change the rules on me to achieve outcomes that they want. That's just not fair.
This isn't a matter of them refusing a development application because they don't like the manner of the development. This is a case of there's a vacant block of land, the owner's not doing anything with it, we don't like that, we're going to try and force you to do.
Yeah, it's called use it or lose it provisions, and they exist already in Australia everywhere. There's laws that, in fact, in the last year's budget, there were a whole bunch of extra, but the penalties were already there, but they were doubled, they were increased many-fold. I can't remember exactly off the top of my head, of people, I think it was especially foreign owners who had property in Australia, who had a house in Australia, they bought as an investment property, say, and they were just waiting for it to, accrue in value or to appreciate, and then they'd sell it for a profit or whatever, but it just sits empty. They would have to pay, tens of thousands of dollars. I think it ended up being over $100,000 or something so punitive that it basically meant you have to rent it out, and that was one of the measures for helping to ease the housing crisis. Now, I have no problem with that whatsoever, so I don't see why.
I have no problem with that either, but that's because it's foreign owned rather than owned by Australians.
I own my house and it is very, very full, I can assure you.
Do you have any vacant blocks?
I do not have any vacant blocks.
That you're being punished for owning?
No, I have none whatsoever, and I'm more than happy to keep it that way. I think we should be using every single bit of land that we have and infilling it as much as we have to make sure that people are using it. It's not just being sat there left vacant so that the owner can then sell it for more money.
Do you have any vacant bedrooms in your home?
I don't actually, no.
That's the next stage,
They are
right?
also all full.
It's just a matter of degrees as to how far you go. Once you violate the principle of this is my property, I can do what I want on my property,
I think
at what point do you draw a line?
I think there have already been suggestions, and again, whether or not people should, there should be an extra penalty pay if you have an investment property that's just sitting empty. I don't know if they yet apply to Australian owners, but certainly to foreign owners, they do. So surely they have property rights too, or Do they not?
But
I believe they should.
I think it's different with foreign.
I believe they absolutely
What if
should.
you owned a bit of land in, say, Bali? A lot of Australians have a lot of land in Bali, which is actually impossible because the Indonesians just make it such a basket case.
Yeah. What if I own some land in China?
This is the
Oh,
thing.
no, I probably
But that's
can't.
all right. But I think either you have rights or you don't. But I think use it or lose it. Get in there.
Oh, agree to disagree.